Hello, Adam.
Hello, Michael.
Yeah, here we are again.
How you doing?
Good. I got a question for you.
What's that question?
Is Buc-ee's that great?
It's great for its bathrooms. I will give you the bathroom stamp of approval for Buc-ee's. It's
Good bathrooms.
It's good bathrooms.
Adequate coverage on
yeah.
the walls, right? And the door and the walls.
Yeah. Other than that,
Why not make the walls go all the way down to the ground in these other places?
yeah. It's
Should there be loud? There should be like super loud music in a bathroom,
yeah.
right? I don't care what kind of music it is. Even if it's white noise, just have like huge, just loud music. I want loud music and room and walls that go all the way down to the ground.
Yeah.
The door all the way down.
Yeah. Well, I remember one of the first things I ever remember, the first time I went overseas, I landed in Germany, Frankfurt, and I went to the bathroom and all the doors went from the ceiling to the floor in the bathroom in the airport. And I was like, I've never seen this before. This makes a whole lot more sense to me than having booths as bathrooms.
Yeah. I don't know. So that's it? It's just a good place to go to the bathroom? Buc-ee's?
For me, I mean, it's just like, I know people that go in there and, all they talk about is there's food and there's barbecue sandwiches and, all the stuff. And I'm just like, it's subpar barbecue sandwich.
People get excited because you're stopping at Buc-ee's.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, we got walls of candy and walls of chips and walls of snacks.
When wait till they start having live music.
Ah, dude.
Welcome to the Buc-ee's stage. The Route 12 band.
Yeah. Is up next.
These bands with they've got highway names after them. Pat Green writes one song about southbound 35, and then 12 bands show up with names. Farm to Market 1237.
You mean West 84?
Yeah, West 84 is one.
Yeah.
I played a couple tunes on that record.
Did you?
Yeah, but I had a Sadowski bass, and after I recorded the two songs, the producer said he had to dumb down the bass tracks to fit in with the rest of the record.
Nice.
Yeah. Not like, let's redo all of it with this good sounding bass. Let's dumb down that to fit the rest of the...
To make it sound like it all went together. Yeah. You know what that is? That's a bad truth.
It sure is. This is Bad Truth. I'm not railing on Buc-ee's.
No. I mean, shit, I don't mind. I'll definitely pick that over the Skeezy Sunoco station.
What about the Czech stop?
I don't...
Is it over with that? Are we living in we think it used to be great back a long time ago, and when we go there, we're still hoping it's that, but it's really not like that.
But
anymore.
it's not that anymore.
It's over.
That's. I think that's exactly it. Like, I love like the pictures, the old 8x10s of every band, and I'm like, that was the heyday of the Czech stop.
I once tried to speak Czech to one of the dudes working there.
Yeah,
because it used to be, from the Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia or even Yugoslovakia, even before that.
Yeah.
He didn't know what I was talking about. I said, no one speaks Czech here? And all I said was, Dobrý den, which is like, I don't know, hello or something.
Yeah.
And the guy had no clue. And I was like, so where are all the Czechs? And he goes, oh, we're all German here now. We bred them all out.
Ooh.
And
Yowza.
the one dude that was behind the counter, he was still Czech.
Yeah.
From birth, still Czech. And he just looked at that dude and they started arguing. I caused the scene in there, and then, yeah, I just wanted to get ham and cheese, whatever slop kolaches they were making in there.
Yeah.
By Germans.
Yeah. Czechoslovakian food by Germans.
Yeah. There's like 3 there in that little area.
Yeah. I actually prefer across the street now, the new one, the Slovaks, just because it's got really nice bathrooms.
Oh, it does?
Again, nice bathrooms. That's probably what I care about the most because pretty much road food is road food. We have a section of Texas that you can get kolaches.
All right. song. You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do, this is Bad Truth, not Truck Stops, but this is going to be Bad Truth musician stereotypes.
Yeah.
The things that musicians do, and then also based on their instrument they play. It's the funny shit that they do that we're just going to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I want to start with?
Which?
Fiddle players.
Oh, fiddle players.
Not violinists.
No.
The fiddler.
It's completely different.
Yeah, I was in a band with a guy, and that was his pickup line for girls. The fiddle player, he goes, want to fiddle around?
Get it?
He may have said, get it. He dressed like a magician. The big puffy shirt.
Yes.
He had like the long hair and a ponytail. The slacks, dude.
Slacks.
With the what's the things? The pleats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pleated slacks.
The pleats.
Yeah.
Seinfeld. Yeah, he had that slacks with pleats, ponytoed black boots.
Yeah.
The long hair and the ponytail, and the pirate, basically the pirate shirt, the big
pirate shirt,
big puffy shirt.
Yeah.
He was incredible. A virtuoso. The dude could play anything ever. He was the guy was the most amazing violinist player. But yeah, he was playing fiddle in this band. Anyway, want to fiddle around? All right. Do you like fiddle players? Wait. Do you like recording fiddle players? Knowing how much you're going to have to edit this stuff.
I try to. I still give them a chance. When I meet a new fiddle player, I'm like, oh, maybe this is the one. Still looking for that one.
Okay. I've been to bands with fiddle players before. And my only question is, and this is the way my brain works. This is my logic here. There's no emotion into this. It's all logic.
Just
here.
logic, yeah.
Yeah. Why do they think they should get paid the same versus everybody else in the band when they play at least a third less than everybody else per song?
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes we don't even want them to play that much per song.
Yeah, a lot of times they're actually getting paid not to play. Only play the solo and the head lick and the outro.
They're basically getting paid not to play.
Yeah.
And I'm not slamming. Oh, okay. If you're the multi-instrumentalist and you play all these other instruments, then that's something different. But we're talking about the person that just plays fiddle. And yet they think they deserve the same pay as everybody else in the band that play 100% of the songs. Because I play bass, you play bass.
Yeah.
There's drums, there's guitar. I mean, I'm playing like 100% of all the songs.
When it comes down to it, pretty much the rhythm section is the only ones that are playing 100% of the song.
Yeah. Shouldn't we get paid more?
Yeah.
I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I think the bass and drums should get paid the most in every band.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get, and they're the ones that get the least respect.
But these people that play one instrument, a fiddle,
yeah,
think that they're worth just as much as everybody else in the band when they only play 2/3 of every song, sometimes less. But then you got the guy who won't stop playing. It's like, please, God, set the bow down and walk away. We don't need you sawing and plucking on every 5 seconds.
You don't need to saw under every chorus, and you don't need to fill every verse when that guitar player is also getting paid to fill a couple verses.
Yeah, give someone else a chance.
Yeah.
Stop playing, for God's sakes. And the reason why you pray to God for them to stop playing is because the front of house guy thinks they're the most important thing in the band besides the vocals, so he'll have him the loudest. Yeah. Way louder than anybody else. Like, you'll see some bands, and they got there's a fiddle player, so let's crank that. Yeah. And all you hear is just, hee-haw, hee-haw. I don't want to hear that.
Or when it's a split solo and the fiddle takes the first half, then the guitar takes the second half, and there's no volume for that. So you're like, oh, is somebody soloing? What happened? Oh, lead guitar's buried back there because the front of house guy just turned the fiddle up, and that's it.
You got some fiddle players that I swear when they join these shitty Texas bands that they've never, ever, ever listened to one song from that artist.
Yeah.
They're like a bluegrass dude, come up from the bluegrass school, and all they know how to do is just solo bluegrass stuff.
Yeah.
And people like that. Like the crowds, they're impressed by that. Artists, oh man, the artist is like, wow, this guy's incredible. How can I get this guy in my band? He's so good.
Yeah.
Or she. Yeah, there are some females, but we're talking mainly guys that I have experience with, and you're going, yeah, but that song isn't like a bluegrass song, for starters, and for secondly, we don't need it in this song. We don't need a ridiculous bluegrass solo that's different every time he plays it. Doesn't know any harmonies or melodies of the actual song. Hasn't even listened to the artist's records, not once. They just show up and just improv and just they just throw up on the whole song.
Yeah.
Of just fiddle noodling.
Well, and I think
and it's probably out of tune, most of it.
Yeah. Well, it goes into that thing of, I feel like you've got fiddle players, and then you have band members. The fiddle player that will play with the band, and I think, I kid about the fiddle in the studio and stuff, but I have my go-to guys that I do use for session stuff, mainly because they understand that they're probably not the main guy. They don't have to play everything. They're going to ask me where they want me to play, where they want to play, and what style they want to be played in. And they're not trying to play over every little thing. And a lot of guys, especially young guys that come into the studio, it's like all they want to do is check out the licks I know, and I'm going to play them over the entire song. And then you're going to be amazed and hire me all the time. And I'm like, no, I got a melody here. Hear that guitar? I want you to harmonize that guitar.
I'm telling you.
It's like you got band members, then you got fiddleists. And the problem is it's most of the time it's just fiddleists that are out there that's just, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at this lick, look at me.
Yeah, the look at me guy.
Yeah.
People are impressed by that. Artists, they always fall for it. They always fall for the dude that can do blazing bluegrass stuff that has no direct correlation to any of the songs or the styles that they're doing. They just throw it in there. Sometimes they'll even give them like a solo section just for them, so they can do some bluegrass bullshit. And you're going like, okay, but what about the whole rest of the songs?
Yeah.
That we're doing tonight?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a hard instrument.
Oh, it definitely is.
There's no frets. It takes a long time to get good at that.
Yeah.
Because you're not only getting good at learning music and the physicality of playing the instrument, you also have to develop your ear at the same time.
Yeah.
Almost faster than your actual playing. If you don't have an ear for that, and you're playing loud music,
yeah,
you're playing with guys that are loud, and you're trying to compete with them. So I can see where the problem comes, but you would think you would play less and be more sure instead of the guy that just like, no, I don't care how your songs go. I didn't really listen to them. I'm just gonna go up there and look at me, diddly 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 do, and the crowd's gonna go crazy. And the crowd goes crazy. I'm telling you, women love the fiddler.
Oh yeah,
they love the fiddle, dude. Those guys, if they apply themselves every night, they love it. I know girls. I met girls. They love the fiddle player.
Yeah, no matter.
I don't know what it is. Like the Pied Piper of Punani.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just wish they'd stop playing.
Well, and that's maybe they just keep playing to stay in tune. They think to stay in tune.
What's that fiddle? What's the old fiddle joke? How do you get? How do you get a fiddle? How do you know? Oh, hold on. Jesus Christ, almighty. How do you know when the fiddle's out of tune?
How?
The bow's moving. Yeah, I could almost remember that one.
Well, the one of my pet peeves with fiddle players, real quick before we move on, is that you have an instrument where most of the time they've been learning since they were a child, and they learned it by having it on their shoulder next to their ear. That's how they learned how to play fiddle and all this sort of stuff. And then they join a band of loud guitar amps, drums, and they haven't learned to quite adjust to that. Whether they need to figure out their monitors, whether they need to have in-ears, whether they need to have an amp, they just don't know. And so they don't realize that they are sometimes as bad as a half a step or a whole step out while they're soloing. because they think it's right, and it's like, nope, because they don't learn to adjust. They don't practice in a band situation, with stage volume and everything. It drives me up the wall. Okay, I'm off my rant. That's my rant on fiddle players.
I'm done with fiddle already. All right, guitar players.
Guitar players.
That's another instrument that won't shut the fuck up.
Yes.
It starts from as soon as their amp is set up on stage,
Yeah, dude,
before sound check even starts.
It literally starts as soon as that amp is fired on.
Do you have to practice your sound at 10 at full volume?
Yeah.
Practice at home. That's what home is. You've been home for 4 days because you don't tour in these bands. What were you doing for those 4 or 5 days?
Call of Duty.
Practice your stuff at home.
Or, on that same rant, sound check is not the place to rearrange your pedal board and try to figure out, well, you know what? I'm going to move this distortion in front of this wah pedal in front of, did I mention we're country bands? Yes, I said multiple distortion pedals and wah pedals, and yeah. But they just start to readjust their pedal board. Or my favorite is the last show, something went out on their pedal board, but those 4 days that they were off, they didn't take the pedal board home to figure out.
No,
what
it stayed in the trailer
and
all
then
day.
All
week. Sorry.
Now they remembered their pedal board wasn't working right. So sound check is the time to figure out why their pedal board isn't working.
They're always on about gear talk.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about this pedal that you got. I care that you showed up on time, had shit that worked, and you played the tunes. That's all I care about.
Well, I care less about the pedals and more about the fact that 6 months in, you're still missing the F-sharp bridge on a song.
A lot of these young kids, millennials or whoever else is out here in the scene, they don't have they can't self-correct.
No.
They don't realize that they've messed up this one part. They can't hear that they're playing this part wrong over and over and over again and don't correct it the second day.
Yeah.
And not only do they play a lot too, when they don't need to, they're also too loud always.
Yeah.
Guitar player, they have the loudest thing on stage. They can turn the amp up. It's going to be way louder than anything. Compared to bass, if you have a 100-watt amp guitar and a 100-watt amp bass, I'm going to need at least 200, 250 to even match you in sound.
Yeah. Exactly.
And yet they can't hear anything because all they want to hear is themselves. And you know what happens when all you hear is yourself? Your timing sucks.
Yeah.
Not only are you young and don't have timing anyway, because I know that's a lost art. It takes a long time for someone to play in time. But these young kids, they're already on top, and then they can't hear anything else. They can't hear a click track or a hi-hat or anybody else is playing. All they hear is themselves. And they're it's almost like you have, the whole band has to start 5 seconds before they start playing so that you can all end at the same time. It's dude, can you not hear how far ahead you are?
Yeah.
Turn down. Listen to everybody. No, can't do that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these kids get in these bands before they should be in bands, and they haven't figured out how to hear anybody else because they're still totally concentrating on their parts. They don't have a head on a swivel. Their ear hasn't developed enough that they can play their part, just their part, and hear everybody else and hear what they're doing as well, and be able to play off each other. That's a whole nother level. A lot of them aren't getting to because they're getting in these bands really quick.
Well, that's it. They miss out on the garage band experience. They're playing guitar with their radio, their record players, whatever, and then they get a gig. So they haven't experienced, I can't hear this stuff. I got to actually maybe turn down in this shitty garage with my buddies. They haven't experienced that, and they haven't experienced the, just that idea of I have to learn to play with people. They just get the gig and go.
And you add that to all the other bands just like them.
Yeah.
So they don't learn from each other. They're all ignorant of what the normal development should be. And only a few of them, I don't know, I guess they just have a epiphany one day. And they go, I figured it out. Oh, my ear just developed because that's what mine did.
Yeah.
Like I just, after a while of listening to your elders, remember that? When people would actually monkey see, monkey do. You got an older dude in the band that's got all the experience and done everything that you're probably never going to do, but you don't ever talk to him or ask him about anything.
Yeah.
And when he tries to help you, you just don't listen in one ear, out the other. You never fucking learn.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of that guy now. But when I was younger, I used to like hang out with those guys.
Yeah.
When I was the youngest guy in the band and there was an older dude that was talking about all his stories and all the things he's done and played, I'm like, I'm listening and I'm downloading all that information.
Yes.
That's solid gold, that information. Kids today, no, they don't care. They could care less.
Well, and one thing that I think helps develop, and I'm sure you've been down that road before, but is getting fired for your lack of ability to play something.
100%. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, I don't mean necessarily like, oh, you're fired, but like, you know, I remember in college, you know, not being able to get certain gigs because I couldn't play it. And it's just like, okay, you know, I was told, no, you're not good enough for this. And I was like, oh, and it made me work harder and figure out. I was the type that was like, well, what do I need to be able to do? Do I need to be able to play faster? Does my ear need to work better? Do I need to be able to sight read? Why am I not getting this gig?
100%. Maybe more. Can you have more than 100%? I mean, mathematically you can.
Yeah.
100% of the players will be fired from any kind of real professional touring, national touring band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't last a day. A day. They would do something wrong. And wouldn't just be the playing. They just, you know, professional. They just don't know.
Yeah. They don't know.
Yeah. You want to find out how good you are? Quit playing these shithouse bands in Texas and go to a real city that has real huge bands with real management and real booking agents and tour real places. Go see if you can get in one of those bands and go play in one of those bands for a couple years and then come back and see what the difference is. Because that's what I did.
Well, the other side of it too is that if you can go to another town and do that and come back, you'll realize you won't want to be in these bands.
I don't want to be in these bands. I want to play for people who can write songs and people that can play. I want to play. It's like I didn't practice. We're getting really, really dark and off here.
It's okay.
But dude, I didn't practice all these years. Even go to music school. And then even when I wasn't in school, I still tried to find other sources of knowledge and practice. And then I tried to test myself to go to Nashville and see if I could do it there.
Yeah.
And then I come back here. I'm saying I didn't do all of that so I could play for shitty bands and shitty songs.
Yeah.
It's like I'm over it. It's like Texas guys, write better, be better, entertain better, play better. That's what I want. I want these bands I want them to be better.
Yeah.
And if I have to pull the curtain down on all the shit in the Texas scene, if I have to call it out on this little rinky-dink podcast that no one's listening to, well, at least it's a start. At least somebody's being proactive.
Yeah.
Because I didn't practice all this time, you know, to play for shit. I don't want to play shit.
Yeah.
You know? And they say, well, then go back to Nashville then, or go somewhere else. I don't know. That's on me. But I live here now. I just want it to be better.
Yeah.
Write better.
Well, that's
be
it.
better.
It's that idea of, you know, the first band that I think I ever played with for a little while, that I was filling in with for a long term, that ever did something that I now take to every band I'm in, which was, well, I had to fill in. The first time I ever filled in with Reckless Kelly for a couple months. I went out with those guys. Every time we walked off stage, me, Jay, and Dave, the drummer and lead guitar player, would just real quick knock out what we liked and what didn't work. Hey man, that breakdown over there, that was cool. Let's try to develop something off that. Oh man, that other thing didn't work. And then boom, we'd go out to the merch table or do whatever we had to do. But for a 5-minute while it was fresh on our minds, rather than immediately going to get drunk or immediately going to, you know, to interact with everybody, we just had our moment of, this is what we did and this is what worked, and this is what didn't. This was a good night. This was a bad night. Why was it a bad night? What didn't work? Couldn't hear, blah, blah, blah. We had that, got it in, got it out, downloaded it to our brain, and then we went out and did everything. And now, every band I'm in from now on, I always try to have that when we're off stage for that moment. You know, if we're opening, get your gear off, get it to the trailer, and while we're in the trailer, let's talk about what worked, what didn't, how can we be a better band?
Yeah, if someone is having a bad night or screwing up, I don't like to call them out on it because I feel like they know. They already know. I don't need to tell them. It's like, look, you were there, I was there. We know what happened.
Yeah,
just self-correct it. But the problem is they don't. These kids they can't self-correct. The problems keep happening, and so it's almost like, well, I don't want to like tell you that you're playing like shit, but I'm have to tell you that you're playing like shit because you've been doing it consistently.
Yeah.
And I don't want to tell you this.
Yeah.
A lot of times I like to do everything one-on-one.
Yeah.
There's like some guy, like we're talking like band leading, I guess. There, sometimes there's one guy that go, dude, what the hell did you do there? That was in front of everybody else. And I don't think that builds morale.
No.
Or builds care or builds confidence really, because then the rest of the band's going like, oh, he's not good.
Yeah.
You don't want that. So if I have to do any like corrections, I like to do them one-on-one.
Yeah.
But I don't like to do them because I'm hoping that they know what they did. But here we go.
Yeah.
We're back to where we started from. They can't self-correct. They can't hear when they're doing something wrong, or they give an excuse. I don't want to hear excuse that you drop your drumstick or that you hit the wrong button on your click track.
Yeah.
You hit the wrong song, or you forgot what we just talked about 3 hours ago at sound check, that we're all going to do this. And then the drummer forgot to do it.
Yeah.
I'm on the drummers now. We're moving along.
Yeah. I think, we definitely have moved on.
Why does it's a lot of, drummers have a lot of stuff, but does it really take that long to set up and tear down if you're in a hurry?
I don't feel like I've known enough drummers that I don't feel like it takes a long time. Like a drummer knows how to get their stuff up and down really quick. And I understand they don't always want to rush it, but they normally know how to rush it if it has to be done.
Do you think the drummer takes direction the worst than anybody else in the band? Or is it the guitar player? What do you think?
Ooh.
Like, if you hey, dude, what you're playing there on drums, could you not do this? And they're like, I play whatever. Or is the guitar player, hey, man, maybe you shouldn't?
I feel like it's the guitar player. As a bass player, I feel like most of the time, most time with a drummer, you can get into that. Okay, hey man, let's lock in this kick drum, or let's do this type of beat.
So you would say the guitar player takes direction the worst.
Yeah. If I have to choose, it would definitely be the guitar player. It just seems like you want to change something up. It's difficult for them to grab that.
I play with a drummer, and like the first, like right before like one of the first shows,
yeah,
he asked me what I thought about improv, and I was like, in jazz, or what are we talking here? And he was like, he wanted to know how closely do I have to play the songs to the record, the way they sound on the record. And my response is for anybody, always start with the record.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't listen to the live stuff. Don't listen to any other thing. Always go back to the source material. Start from there. Learn the tones of the record.
Yeah.
You come out there with this tiny little bitty hi-hat when clearly all the cymbals are dark and it's a huge hi-hat. Like, it's not even a hi-hat, it's like two crash cymbals.
Yeah, two 18s hats.
The kick drum is kind of boomy, not the clicky thing.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even listen to that. They just come out there, and usually when you get a gig, you want to emulate what the record sounds like, right?
Yeah.
You don't play what you want to play or your tone. You should emulate what the record, because that's what they spent all the money on. That's what they spent promoting and producing and writing. That's the tone. That's the sound of the band.
Yeah.
But yet you'll get like a guitar player or a drummer or something like that. The worst is probably the bass player. I don't want to get to them just yet, but on the drums, like, dude, can you not tell that it's like a darker, boomier drum thing on here? What are you doing?
It's not we're not
This is the gig. This isn't like your job to make money. This is like the gig.
Yeah. Your drums shouldn't sound like 80s hair metal.
Yeah. And I don't care if someone doesn't want to do a drum fill, just like the record, because that came from somebody's brain that he did once.
Yeah.
And now you're asking someone else to have to play that same thing the same way every single night when that studio guy just did it that one time, didn't even think about it. But the style of that fill should be like for like. Like if you want to do your own fill that you feel more comfortable about as a drummer, do your own comfortable fill, but it should be similar and in the style of the song.
Yes.
It's called
100%.
like for like.
Yeah.
And if it's not that, I don't need your big metal, when it doesn't need that. It was like boom, chick, toom, something simple. So that bugs me too.
Yeah.
So that was a little conversation that I had, and I don't know how it went overall, but whatever. That's what's going on. The same thing with bass players. You're playing in an Americana band. Yeah. And the dude walks up here with this like 5-string exotic Coco Balboa wood or something ridiculous. And you're like, are you not hearing that this is just a simple old P bass with flats?
Yeah.
A big boomy thing? What are you doing with this 5-string bass with the strap so up high? It's like a necklace that you're wearing.
Yeah, neck bass.
Everybody
neck bass.
Yeah, everybody can see your dick.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, and I've been guilty of it before, but Saints Analog is a 4-piece rock band, and I play a T-Bird bass. And it's clanky, and it's fun, and it's rock and roll, and it's heavy, and it's awkward, and it's rock and roll. But when I see a country band and a guy playing a T-Bird bass doing a walking bass line for 90 minutes or a root 5th bass line, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's a T-Bird.
When I was in Nashville, I had a 5-string because I had to.
Yeah.
Because that's what it called for. Yeah. That was the sound that they wanted. Do I like 5-string basses? No, I hate them.
No.
I hate 5-string basses. I don't know. It's 5 extra notes if you're tuned in standard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I can get 2 of those back with a low D.
Yeah, just dropping down to D.
Yeah, I feel like I can get that. Anything lower than that, you're kind of, most... front of house guys can't deal with that. PAs can't deal with that.
Yeah. Most of the time, that low B cannot be handled by the subs.
Their excuse is, well, it's easier to play because then I can just stay in this one position and not have to move and do open strings or whatever. I can just sit here and play.
I call that the lazy bass player.
Yeah.
The lazy bass, that's a stereotype. The lazy bass player that doesn't want to get out of that one position. But
if you play upright or fretless, you need the open strings because when you play open strings, that's how you gauge
You're tuning.
You're rechecking where your pitch is every time you hit an open string.
Yes.
Reestablishes that. And that's why those guys play in the first position, which is, we're talking to people who don't know anything, like the 1st through 3rd fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's so you can check.
Yeah.
Check your tuning.
Yep.
I don't know why all these exotic, I don't know about you, but every bass line, all my favorite songs, were all done on 4 strings.
On 4-string basses, yes. And some of them were only done on 2 of the strings.
Yeah. I guess I'm old school when it comes to bass. I like the 4-string. But even though I like the 4-string and I like certain things, when I was in Nashville, I played the 5 because that's what the gig demanded.
Yeah.
I don't go in there with a hollow body flat wound to play Nashville country.
Yeah.
So why are you showing up with these high-pitched Lars Ulrich kick drum sound cymbals and drums that don't fit the tone of the record? Yeah. Play the tone of the record.
It's that simple. Talking earlier, we were talking about, a live record with a pingy punk snare drum. That was a country live album, and it was just like, why that snare drum should have been, you know me, you've been in the studio with me plenty of times to see that I really like low snare drums anyway that are thuddy.
Yeah, you like the old dark sounds.
Yeah, because you know what? All my favorite records, that's what was on them. And I completely get the pingy punk rock snare drum, but I don't understand that with a country band. Don't get it. I don't want to hear bong.
It's people being selfish,
Yeah.
not playing for the band. It's
This
also
is-
the band guys that will leave another band for $25 more,
Yes.
but don't do any research on the band and not realize, well, you know what? The band you're in right now doesn't pay the same, but plays a lot more.
Yeah.
And two things happen when you play a lot more. Other people see you play.
Yep.
So it enhances your visibility, your brand. Everyone's into their brand.
Yeah.
Here's a selfie of me. Here's my today's office
Yep.
pictures. You
Yeah.
know, everyone's self-promoting themselves to death. And but they'll leave for $25 more to go play someone who doesn't make as much.
Yeah. Which is just baffling.
I call them band hoppers.
Yeah.
They band hop. They're not loyal.
No.
They just want to get as high as they can, as quickly as they can. But you know what? They're still the same shitty player.
Yeah.
They're just tricking the other bands into thinking that they're better.
Yeah.
Just because you see a guy in a bigger band doesn't mean that they're good.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I listen, I hear, I see.
What's funny is I also know some really good players that no one else knows because they were band hoppers, that everybody knew, well, you can't trust this guy to stay with the band for 6 months. And even though he's a fantastic player, nobody hires him and then he moved cities because he couldn't get a gig because it wasn't for his lack of ability. It was strictly because everybody knew he wouldn't stay in a band. He's always looking for the better gig.
No, he was a band hopper who's a mercenary.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's a mercenary.
He didn't care about the band he was in. He only cared about what it did for him and how much money he was going to make.
Yep.
You know, I tell guys, look, the band is where it is.
Yeah.
Whatever band that you're in, that's where you are. And your first thing should be, well, how can I make the band I'm in the band that I want it to be?
Yeah.
How about that attitude?
There's an idea.
It's too ideal is what it is.
Yeah.
It's that, you know, people don't think that way anymore.
No, not at all.
No, they want to get in the biggest band that makes the most money right away. But you don't even like that music.
Yeah.
You hate that. You hate that stuff.
Yep.
But, you know, I make a lot more money and I'm more visible and here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about, remember when you were in that other band and you didn't give a shit about it? You were just in that band just so you can get into another band? Yeah. How about making that band that you're in try to do that first?
Yep. I had a friend of mine that used to always tell me, he was a drummer, and he would always tell me, if any of those pop acts called me up, dude, I'd quit this band in a heartbeat and go on the road. I want to be in a stadium band. It's like, dude, just work on this band.
I've been in a stadium band. It's not that great. There's a disconnect from the crowd.
Yeah.
You're in all those places are exactly the same. You're down in the basements, the shower. You're using like they're not getting hotels anymore. You're showering in the gym showers that athletes shower in because that's where you're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all those dudes are like 12 feet tall and you're in there and the shower head's way up above you.
Yeah.
There's no internet. A lot of those places because cell service can't get in there. You're in the middle of nowhere. You just stuck there all day, really.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I guess if you've never done it before, can't say don't do it, but
After a while, it's just another job.
yeah, for me, you know, it was always fun after doing that stadium stuff, football field. We used to do all that stuff. It was fun to go back into the club after a while.
Yeah.
Not the smoky clubs, but in the club where you could, you know, really feel, you know, the crowd and stuff around you, you know?
Well,
Things like
there's,
that.
I mean, if you look, almost every huge band that, you know, can eventually does a private secret show or whatever where they show up and do a club date, you know, and it's because, yeah, that disconnect from the fans is like, people forget that that's part of the reason why we're into music is there is a connection there that we all share when we play a show.
Yeah, you're in the big enormo dome. You're on ears. You can't really hear the crowd unless you got crowd mics that you want to put in ears, but you really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Some bands will put a crowd mic up, but so you can't really hear anybody. All you hear is what you have in your ears, and then you finish the show and you're out of there. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
It's like going to a dentist. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I missed out on a lot of gigs because I don't sing backup.
Yeah.
And that really, really bothers me. And I had a teacher in school wanted me to take vocal classes,
Yeah.
just to do it. You also want me to do piano and take vocal classes. And I didn't take either one of them. I didn't want to do it. And I don't know if I regret that, but I really get mad when a band picks a bass player that sings. That's a shitty bass player.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a shitty bass player. But I don't sing. I'm probably a shitty singer, though. But they will take that background vocal guy who can't play really well, or girl. There's been cases where a girl that sings that can't play bass at all. They think they play bass, but they don't.
Yeah.
They don't know the difference because they haven't heard the difference. And once they hear the difference, they go, oh. But it doesn't stop them thinking the same way. They want the background vocal.
No.
So I miss gigs, some good ones, because I don't sing. And then you sometimes you go and see those bands play. Oh, this is the guy that they got, or this is the girl that they got, and the vocals aren't even in the mix. You can barely hear them.
That's the funniest part about it.
You can barely hear it. You can't even hear it in the front of house. You might sound great in your wedge or your ears on stage. Oh, wow, this person's great. They're singing great. But out front, it's not out there at all. It's really low. You can't hear it. And sometimes they'll lie and say they can sing.
Yeah.
Or they sing okay, but they don't really, and they never really end up singing.
Yeah.
They're like 5 feet off the mic, pretending like they're singing.
Yeah, exactly.
They're way off the mic. And they're already low anyway in the mix. And then if you're going to be that far from the mic, pretending that you sing backup, and they get away with it. I guess that's what people do. They just lie and just to get the gig.
Just to get the gig.
Oh, well, I'm here now, and I've already learned the tunes, and we're already playing shows. Yeah, I lied. I don't really sing very well, and I fake singing.
Yeah.
But I got the gig now, so I guess just do without. I don't know. I'm bitter about that. I don't know if you can tell.
Well, and I know exactly what you're talking about because I've gotten the funny thing is I've filled in for people when they were just like, well, I mean, I know we're going to lose a harmony, but we need somebody to come in for this weekend. And I was like, cool, I'll play. I know your stuff, or I know a lot of it. I'll chart the rest. I'll play it. And then it's the first gig, and they're like, what's different about the bass line you're playing? And I'm like, nothing. I'm playing the bass line that's on the record. Oh, your harmony singing bass player just stays on the root and doesn't actually play the bass line that's on the record?
Yeah, because he's pretending to fake sing.
Yeah.
You can't do all that stuff if he's fake singing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to sing and play. You have to start at an early age and develop it.
Yeah. It's like I
get that all the time. I've got that lot. Man, I really like what you're playing there on those songs. I said, oh, cool, because who actually played that on the studio? Because that's all I'm doing. I'm just playing what's on the record. He goes, really? That's on my record?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's your bass line. I'm playing your bass line. What's the problem here?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Oh, that's because the guy that you hired that can fake sing harmony is only playing a dumbed down version, if at all.
If you're good enough as a singer, did Frank Sinatra need background singers?
No.
No, he didn't. Why is that? Because he was incredible. He didn't need background singers. Here's another one for you. Remember when Diana Ross left the Supremes?
Yeah.
Because she didn't need the Supremes anymore.
She didn't need the background singers.
No, she didn't need them.
Yeah.
But we don't have that talent anymore.
No.
Because everyone can be a musician now. I was growing up thinking, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to do this. I don't know how. I don't even know where to begin. How am I ever going to get in a band? Am I ever going to tour? I mean, it's hard. You go see bands and the bands you listen to, and they're all like 1,000 times better than you. And you're like, man, I'm just not good. I'm not good enough to do this. How am I ever going to do it? And then somehow, some way, you end up doing it. But now everyone can do it. They don't even think that now. They think, oh, if I just go buy something. Instrument owners is what I call them.
I'll eventually.
Yeah. How many instrument owners are in this band?
Yeah.
They don't know how to play them because they started too quick.
Yeah.
And you can't say someone sucks. Sucks is when you've been playing the same songs for years and you still can't play them.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you suck.
Yes.
But if you're still fairly young and you're playing, you have to go through, some rough patches and things.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you suck. It's just that you just don't have the experience yet. You're still learning.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a difference between sucks and just haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah. You can be not a great player, which is a legitimate, and some people may take it harshly. Or you could suck, which is two different things.
Yeah.
Oh, that band's terrible doesn't mean that band sucks. That just means they're just not there yet.
Yeah.
They need more time. Get back in the oven.
Well,
You're not brown enough. Get back in there.
yeah.
But, don't stay in too long. If you stay too long in the oven, then you'll get burnt, and then you'll be those kids that are really good that practice at home,
Yeah.
but they can't play in bands because they're too good. They don't get it.
Yeah.
That's when you're in the oven. You practice too long before you
Yeah.
got in the band. Do you know those guys?
Oh, yes.
They're usually the piano players that never played with the band before, or church piano player, and then they come in to play, and they're all left hand, all in the bass player's octave, and they don't know how to play with the band. It's like, no, dude, you need to be like a couple octaves higher with just your right hand.
Yeah.
Stay out of the low.
Yeah.
Just take your left hand and put it in your pocket. They don't
Yeah.
know how to play with the band.
Yeah. Also, or the guys in the local guitar player who is really good. Don't get me wrong, he's badass, but hasn't been in a band for 20 years, but wants to tell you after your show how great of a player he is. It's those dudes.
If your drummer and your bass player aren't very good, does it matter how good the guitar players and the singer and the background singers are?
I tell it like this when we're making a record. It's like building a house. If your foundation is solid, you can paint the house any freaking color you want to paint it. You can make it 10 stories. You can make it 1 story. It doesn't matter as long as that foundation is solid. That is music to a T.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah. It's like if that drummer and bass player are locked in, you can have 10 guitar players. You can have 3 fiddle players. It doesn't matter.
If you have a bad drummer, he has like tempo tantrums on stage.
Dude, tempo tantrums. Holy shit. Yes.
The drummer sounds like there's a shoe in the dryer.
Yeah.
That's what he sounds like. Doesn't know what dynamics are.
Yeah.
Plays his own fills wherever he wants. Your band's not going to be very good. It's not going to sound good at all. You know?
Dude.
Same with the bass player. If you got a bass player that's dropping bass bombs,
Yeah.
every other thing, just not very good, doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Looks stupid up there. He's got his bass around his neck.
Yeah.
Wearing some, like he's overweight, got a flat cap. It's always the same dudes.
Necktie bass.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that,
Yep.
Should we put that on the fashion one?
I know. Yeah, I know.
So that's my question is like, if you don't have a decent rhythm section, your band's not going to be very good.
No. And even though I feel like, even though the fans may not know what's wrong, they know something is wrong. And then when they hear a band that has a solid rhythm section, they feel it. They dance to it. They groove to it. They,
I want to stop here.
Yeah. It's a good
'Cause-
stopping place.
Yeah, I want to stop here because I'm getting fired up, and we hadn't even talked about the artist or the singer-songwriter, quote unquote, yet.
Yeah.
And I think they deserve their own special Bad Truth podcast.
They do.
So let's end this. Let's fucking end this one right now.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and we'll do another one. We'll get our thoughts together, and we'll do that.
Yeah. Michael, where can we find
Bad Truth Podcast? We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and email also the same at gmail.com.
at Gmail? Wait, is that .net? Oh, it's .com.
Yeah, we talked about that .com. And yeah, write all your nasty remarks, or even if you don't care, or just send like the middle finger emoji.
Yeah,
That works too.
That's a good one.
Yeah, everyone gets that one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're out of here.
We're out of here. See you next time.